form of transaction, you could, if you like, you can put it. Yeah, but it's one in which you agree on terms of conditions. Now, will it be in the same pedestal with the other conventional forms of?
You see, you've said it all when you say it's transaction, it's contractual in nature. When you say it's contractual, that's exactly the right description. You know what is important here is for each party to understand it's his or her responsibilities. The builder is a contractor. You know, and what he does is to build, or to construct a house. Here is Abubakar, he wants a house to be constructed for him. What he wants is to have a particular house constructed for him in a given way, or in accordance with particular descriptions or specifications. So you must clearly, you know, spell out your specifications. What do you want it to be? When you want to have it? And how much you can pay. The contractor also must clearly tell you what he can do, how he's going to do it, and when he's going to complete it. So, Al-Muslimun and the Shura team, remember we said this before, these conditions and stipulations are not against the teachings of Islam. They are in line with the principle of Sharia. So it is therefore very important that they, although there is something that I was made to understand by a contractor just last week, that many contractors in this country, if they don't accept what is being offered, they will not get, they will not be given contract. Even though what project owners, construction owners, what they offer is not good for them. You have to accept it, that you'll be able to survive and earn something and survive. Otherwise, and if you accept it, you are going to lose. Why? Because if you're taking the contract now, they will tell you that even though the house, to do it properly, you need something like 1.5 million. But the project owner can only offer you $800,000 or maybe $1 million. You understand? And then the conditions will be given that if the prices of cement increase, it's your problem. And other materials, building materials, if the prices increase, it's your problem. Whether the money can cater for it, it cannot cater for it, we have to go out and get it. What Islam would prefer will be to take care of each other's interest. You understand? You don't allow the interest of one party to overweigh the interest of the other party. So it must be negotiated and structured in such a way that none of them is going to make an unfair gain on the other, or none of them is going to lose to the advantage of the other party. That is the situation that Islam would prefer.
Okay. Or in fact, the buyer, the owner of the compound buys all the material, and then the building aspect of it be negotiated.
Yes, that also is a possibility.
Okay, now when we come to digging wells, it's very common here. Contracts like that can be very funny.
Yes.
Dig a well, he can dig a well and say there's no water.
Yes.
Someone can tell you dig a well for me. You know, pay a huge amount of money.
Yes.
You dig for 3 meters, there's water.
Yes.
Now in that type of arrangement, what should be the terms? You
know, it depends on the terms of the agreement. You know,
what I'm saying here, I experienced it because immediately we finished school. I and my brother, we used to go out we live in the Faro area, so women used to contract us for wells. I can remember one day we had a contract with one gentleman, and he said he needed a well, you know, just to water his beds. We dug the well. You know, after 3 meters, we got to the water. So we dug it. We continued digging for some centimeters, and then we left. He paid us. He came back and he said, you know, that was not the type of well he was talking about. You know, he wanted us to dig. So it became an argument. So when my mind touched, I said, I would put this to doctor.
Yeah, you are right. All the transactions must be clearly stipulated. Terms of the agreement, terms of the contract, sorry, all contracts, the terms must be clearly stipulated. You know, in some areas, it takes you few meters to get the water. In some areas, you have to go deep down before you can get the water. So what are the terms of the agreement? Is it that you are paid per meter? Every meter that you dug, a particular amount of money should be paid for you. Or are you told that unless you get to the water, I will not pay you? And if that is the situation, that unless you get a interpreter, I will not pay you. And we have no idea whatsoever whether we will get to water or will not get to water. This transaction will not be accepted because it stands deceptive. In other words. So that is why, and you know why it is because in the modern time, they involve engineers and the people who have, who studied soil sciences. They know areas where, scientifically, where you can get water. Before, what they used to do, before they dig well, they would never go and just, arbitrarily or haphazardly point a place and dig a well. They will tell you, go to Sheikh so and so, he does an istikhara for you. That's what they used to do.
Yeah, before.
And make prayers for you. And interestingly enough, with some people, they were so gifted by God that if they tell you that go to place so and so, when you dig, you get water. If you go, you dig, you get water. You understand? Although this method may not be as scientific as it is today, or as exact as it is when they apply sciences. But what I'm trying to explain is that people do have their ways, their means. They do have their means and methods of trying to locate where it might be possible for them to get to water if they dig a hole. You understand?
Yeah.
So that is why it is very important for that before you get into transactions like that. And the people whose profession is to dig well, they also do have their own traditional techniques and sciences. You understand?
Some wells can be gaseous. Yeah.
For them, they understand what is good for them or what may not be good for them. So that is why it is very important before you go into any contract, you understand the nature of the contract. You understand what you want. You understand how to go about it. And you also understand the circumstances that might not be favorable for you if you enter into the contract. That's absolutely important. And once all these facts are available, terms are clearly given and indicated, and they all agree to the terms of the agreement, then the contract becomes an Islamically accepted contract or acceptable contract. So sometimes also, human beings are human beings. Sometimes also there might be problems that are unforeseeable. And in the event of that the problems develop that were not foreseeable before, the standard practice in Islamic law is for them to sit together, go back to the drawing table to discuss and get to a new agreement. In other words, there must be provision of amending the contract if the need arises.
Okay.
Wallahu alam.
Just to come back to this place, just as you said here, there could be need to adjust the contract. Now, if you design a plan with somebody, then you go midway in the plan, and you realize that the plan is not working in your favor, but it is working in the favor of the other side. But this is a plan that you have not foreseen some circumstances that emerge later, which is undoing you. Now, when you call the guy, to the drawing board again to rediscuss, and he refused to accept the terms, what should you do? What should be your
standpoint? Whether it is Islamic law or conventional laws, contracts that could not be performed because of the advent of impossibility. We thought we could have done it, but some new development has occurred. That it becomes impossible for us to perform the contract. The contract will be, on the Islamic law, is going to be cancelled.
Now, let me give you an example. I have a house. I have a piece of land. I want you to construct a building for me. Now, we've agreed that you should pay me 50,000, for example. Now, but it is my task to buy all the building material, all the cement, the road, and whatever for you to build the house for me, right? Now, after the business, after we've started, you gave me advance. After some time, you're supposed to give me the rest. But I was unable to buy the material, the road, the cement, because I didn't have the money.
Okay, am I not supposed to make advance payments so that you can buy the materials?
No, the payment is for the labor. Okay. Not for the yeah. Okay. Do you understand? Okay. You are providing the labor, I should pay for your labor. But the material to build the house
must be provided
must be by myself.
By the owner?
Yeah, the owner of the land.
Okay.
Now, I am unable to provide those things because of lack of money. Now, I've paid you an advance, which should at least build the house halfway. But because of my lack of...
You stand to breach the contract.
Now, what happens in this kind of situation?
Well, what happens in this kind of situation is if the agreement stipulates very clearly that the contractor should take care of the labor, bring laborers, and pay them from the money that you give him. But when it comes to the substantial issue,